Hi there everyone, welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Today is Friday, April the 5th, 2013. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the rock band known as Korn. And I'd be surprised if you've never heard of Korn. In the 1990s, mid-90s, these guys emerged as one of the biggest rock bands in the genre of hard rock, heavy metal. It was in 1994 when they released their first album. And from 94 right on up to the late 90s, early 2000s, these guys just completely rose to the top, the pinnacle of what some would call success within the music industry. Multi-platinum records, selling millions and millions of dollars of albums, winning Grammy Awards and other awards, sold-out tours, just basically reaching the pinnacle of success within the music industry. And lately, Korn's been getting some attention because of some statements that were just recently made from the lead singer, Jonathan Davis, lead singer of Korn, has just openly come out and is openly telling people about the fact that he believes that there is an Illuminati. And Jonathan Davis has recently said that he believes there is a secretive group known as the Illuminati who are trying to set up the New World Order. And Jonathan Davis even went as far as to say in a recent interview that he believes that President Barack Obama is just a puppet of the Illuminati. Here's a clip of that recent interview with Jonathan Davis, lead singer of Korn.
At the time I've been really getting into the Illuminati and the whole conspiracy theory, New World Order. It's like a little pet project of mine. It was a song that I wrote pretty much about, like, I feel like Obama's an Illuminati puppet, and he's basically dragged this country down into the worst it's ever been.
So the band has been getting a lot of attention lately because of these highly controversial statements, and I gotta say, in this day and age of the music industry, it is certainly very unpopular to speak out against the Illuminati. In fact, a lot of the people now who are currently reaching that pinnacle of success within the music industry are openly promoting the Illuminati, especially within the genre of hip-hop. You have guys like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Rihanna and Kanye West, and there's a whole bunch of them now who are openly promoting the Illuminati through the symbolism in their videos, in their clothing, in their hand gestures. It just goes on and on. A lot of these artists now are openly trying to promote the concepts of the Illuminati. So no doubt it's incredibly unpopular to speak out against the Illuminati. So, you know, it's great that Jonathan Davis took the unpopular stance to speak out against this. And anything to counter the Illuminati is a good thing, in my opinion. I mean, maybe some of these ideas will make their way into some Korn lyrics. So again, at a time when it's very unpopular to speak out against the Illuminati, you know, kudos to Jonathan Davis for taking the stance to speak out against the Illuminati. But one thing that we have to consider, and a very interesting point to this that I wanted to share with you today, is what are the goals of the Illuminati, really? And when you look at it, you can see from the horse's mouth Adam Weishaupt himself, the founder of the Illuminati, who set it up in the late 1700s. It was officially founded on May 1st in 1776. Well, it was later revealed in the late 1700s when the general population became aware of this sinister organization, and some of their goals were revealed in some documents that were found. And now this is coming from the horse's mouth, directly from Adam Weishaupt himself, founder of the Illuminati, where he broke it all down into two main goals of the organization. And Adam Weishaupt himself has said that the goals of the Illuminati are, number one, to overthrow all civil governments. Plain and simple, number one, overthrow all civil governments. And the Illuminati has certainly been achieving that one war at a time, slowly but surely eliminating kings and all kinds of government empires all over the world, replacing them with a system of democracy, which is a lot more easier to control and manipulate constantly. Over the last few hundred years, we're seeing a huge ramping up of this recently in the Middle East. So one of the main goals of the Illuminati was to overthrow all civil governments. Now, the second goal, as outlined by the founder of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt, was to destroy Christianity. Now, this isn't me saying this. This is coming from the horse's mouth. Founder of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt, says, number one goal, overthrow civil governments. Number two, destroy Christianity. And so the interesting thing about the interview that we just saw a minute ago with the band known as Korn, and Jonathan Davis, lead singer, speaking out against the goals of the Illuminati, is the fact that you may or may not have noticed that there is one key member of the band Korn who was missing from that interview. In fact, this member, Brian Welch, lead guitarist for Korn, left the band a few years ago, and he also took the very unpopular stance of sharing his thoughts on the bigger picture. And what Brian Welch did, the lead singer of Korn, was to take an incredibly unpopular stance of talking about Christianity. And I would say that's even more so of a very controversial, unpopular stance within the music industry, especially in the genre of hard rock and heavy metal. It was, this is huge that he would come out and openly want to start telling the world about his views on the bigger picture in regards to Christianity, basically. And this didn't receive a whole lot of attention. This may come even to news to some of you guys who may have been following Korn or fans of the band for years, and perhaps you didn't know this, but Brian Head Welch, lead guitarist for Korn, left the band a few years ago, and he openly talked about what could be considered the goals of the Illuminati is Christianity. And so that didn't get a whole lot of attention, really, and I just find it interesting that now Jonathan Davis of Korn speaks out against the political aspects of the goals of the Illuminati. And he's getting a lot of attention for it. It's been making its way all around online. Meanwhile, just a few years ago, Brian Head Welch, lead guitarist from Korn, took the incredibly unpopular stance of talking openly about his realization of the bigger picture through learning about Christianity. So, again, I just thought that was interesting that two of these guys from the same rock band have recently, Jonathan Davis within the last week, Brian Head Welch within the last couple of years, came out speaking out against the Illuminati, one talking about the political aspects of it, one talking about the spiritual aspects of it, and Brian's story didn't get any attention whatsoever. Meanwhile, lead singer Jonathan Davis' story got a lot of attention about speaking out against the Illuminati. So anyways, today I thought I'd leave you with an interview from Brian Welch, lead guitarist of Korn, where he explained himself and he outlined the decisions and the things that occurred to him throughout his rise to fame, success in the music industry, to where he achieved all his dreams. He got the millions of dollars, the women, the drugs, the rock and roll, the touring, the life, everything he dreamed about. But he, came to the realization that he didn't have inner peace. He just simply was not happy. And he took the incredibly unpopular stance of openly talking about Christianity. And he had to end up leaving the band to do so. So anyways, I just thought it was interesting that today, in the last week or so anyways, lead singer Jonathan Davis is getting all this attention for openly speaking out controversially about the Illuminati in regards to the political aspects. Meanwhile, Brian Welch, lead guitarist of Korn, years ago, openly spoke out against the spiritual aspects of the Illuminati. So today I'll leave you with Brian Welch's testimony, lead guitarist of Korn, as he tells about how he came to the realization that he had to leave that band, and he took the unpopular stance of telling the world all about his experience. Here's that interview.
Guitar player's dream, but for Brian Welch, it was something else entirely. He's the former lead guitarist for the multi-platinum, Grammy-winning rock band Korn. Never heard of him? Ask your kids. And then you can surprise them with what you learn in this People in the News profile of Brian Welch that Paula Zahn finished just before she went on vacation.
Here on a roof, Bible in hand, Brian Welch is a new man. But it wasn't long ago that this hard-rocking, heavy-drinking, drug-addicted rock star was at the pinnacle of his career and drowning, he says, in despair.
I was a junkie, a single dad, and a rock star. But inside I was dead.
That is how the former guitarist from Korn describes his old life. Before he quit drugs, before he quit the band, before he did this. Brian Welch was raised in a Christian home in the industrial farm town of Bakersfield, California. His quiet childhood, a far cry from his wild future.
When I was a kid, I was really sad inside, and I was kind of shy. I was weak. I was afraid to fight. I was made fun of a lot, and I started getting into music. It just made me feel like I belonged somewhere, you know?
Brian found his calling on the strings of a guitar and discovered a kinship with 4 other teens from Bakersfield, who together formed Korn in 1993.
When all the guys in Korn hooked up back when we were kids, it was like we were a part of something that was going to be our own, you know, and not a, you know, it wasn't about the school, wasn't about a church, it was about something that we're going to create and do something that we feel that we're gifted to do. It was just fun for us.
Korn's first record earned accolades from fans and critics alike, with a unique fusion of heavy metal and alternative rock that some called nu metal. But their aggressive song lyrics told dark tales of drugs, sex, and violence.
So I take my time, guiding the blade down the line, each cut closer to the bite.
They struck a chord with teenage fans.
And
Awards soon followed.
Korn, freak on a lean!
Korn songs topped music charts. Their albums went multi-platinum, and they struck Grammy Gold not once, but twice.
We played in front of like 200,000 people, and they were all going nuts, and we were like, wow. I dreamt about this when I was a kid, and 100% of it came true. All the fame and money and touring is crazy.
But Brian wasn't happy.
To the outside world, I had it all. I had money, Grammys, I had the house, cars, anything I wanted. But the whole time I was with Korn, when we had success, something at home was failing.
Life on the road took its toll. Brian's wife left. His marriage fell apart, and he became a single father to their little girl, Janaea. The pressure, he says, led to a deep depression and dependency on highly addictive crystal meth, or speed.
I started doing speed full-time, every day. I was addicted to Xanax, too, and sleeping pills. It's like living in pure hell. I was so miserable. I was like, I just want to go to sleep and never wake up. Never. And I really wanted to die. I really did.
Late last year, a concerned friend invited Brian to this church in Bakersfield. Brian's pastor, Ron Vieta.
I saw tiredness, I saw confusion, and someone who just was really ready for a change in life.
I was going after my demonic potential, you know, and that was getting famous, worshiping money, worshiping fame, worshiping all this other stuff that I thought life was all about.
That realization prompted Brian to think about leaving the band. But when his 5-year-old daughter started singing sexual lyrics from a Korn song, he decided it was time to quit.
I said, you guys, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. I got to leave. I have to leave. I have no other choice. My bass player for Korn, he text messaged me. He said, you're going to get put on MTV. Everyone's going to laugh at you. They're going to say that you're crazy. Is that what you want? I was like, yeah, I'm ready to get laughed at because God's not laughing at me.
That faith led Brian to check into a hotel for what he calls a personal drug rehab with God.
When I was laying in bed, sweating and stuff, going through all the withdrawals and stuff with speed, and I was like, okay, God, I want you to strip this from me. You're the healer. Take this from me. I didn't know what it meant to be touched in the spirit or nothing, but I felt like he goes, I'm going to make you a star by yourself without Korn. You're mine now. You're going to sing for me.
Cured, he says, of his addiction, Brian joined his church group on a headline-making pilgrimage to Israel.
Right when I got the gown on, tears started coming down my eyes. My stomach was contracting, and I just felt pain. I was looking up, just going, oh, God, I'm sorry.
The change, Brian says, was instant.
I believe that my bad, evil spirits were lifted from me, and now I'm peaceful. I feel peace inside.